We are live. Let's give a second, everybody, for everybody to come in. Everybody, we have Peyton. Oh my God, the CEO of Ditto. Okay, I'm seeing this now on X. We are showing up as live. Peyton, let's start off. How are you, man?
I'm super well. How are you, Sebi? Happy
Oh my,
Thursday.
TGIFT. Um, that's what they say in Bittensor, at least.
Thank God
I'm.
it's Thursday for sure.
What is it? What is it? Thank God it's Friday Thursdays. That's what it was. Thank God it's Friday Thursdays. that could be what this is, but there's already a novelty search. I think it went from that to novelty search, just for context. Let's see. We are live.
We are live, and Novelty Search owns Thursdays, but we're taking a little slice out of our day. Pre-Novelty Search, a little bit of pregame for Novelty Search.
This is the pregame, exactly. If you want, I'm gonna post that right now. Hold on.
It's a pregame for NS, bro. If you know, you know.
Come pre-game novelty search with us. Joe credits to Peyton. And then beer emoji. I think I have to disclose that is a joke.
Right.
This is a joke.
for the nerds, this is a joke.
Okay, Peyton, I'm actually really excited because this is the first live we did was with Raleigh. I basically just was like, dude, show up, let's go. And then I did one by myself. The one by myself was yesterday, and I actually really had a good time. So hopefully we can piggyback off of that. I also talked about Venice as to and how it relates to AI Gooner content, and how that is a business model. Apparently, more power to you. We have a lot to pick up on, but you also have a lot to share. We have the Ditto Weekly Roundup, which was a smash hit last week. Ditto is infamous or famous for how fast you guys ship. So I just wanted to give you a place to record it. You guys are going to actually see like pauses and breaks, maybe retakes on this flow, right? If Peyton twists his words or I do, then we're going to redo it. But it's going to be more of an interactive approach to filming for Ditto, and we're going to do this a lot for Zipcode as well. Last time we did like a live reading of an article. This is a live reading, a live telling of our Ditto Weekly, which is already essentially in writing in the Ditto app, if you just look at the different versions we launched recently. So without any further ado, my brother in arms, Peyton Spencer, is here. How are you, brother?
What is up, brethren? And hello, Ditto brethren. Welcome to a live filming of the Ditto Recap, a high-stakes show where we cover everything happening in Ditto. And you know what? We might as well start covering what happens in AI during the week because our fingers are on the pulse and we're watching all this stuff happen in real time. So hope you got your coffee because, well, espresso in my case, that's why there's not much in here, just so you know. And I hope you got it because a lot of stuff happened, as it always happens. So high level on Ditto news, what did we got? This week we got Bring Your Own Hippiest Bucket, which is really nice for owning your own data. If you got your Hippiest bucket, you can just bring your access keys over to Ditto, paste them in, and more than one, by the way. And now you can just start saving your files and all your content in your own storage. That's awesome. Also, we shipped a community tested feature this week, which was GM, Shoots, OpenAI, Claude, all of those API keys. You can bring all of those into Ditto now. That's really nice for if you happen to have some credits on one of these or you're Bittensor native and you got Shoots, you can bring all that inference into Ditto now. It's super easy. And I was really proud of the community because I put together a testing link for everyone. So the way this works is when we're launching new features, ones that need testing, we'll give out a special feature URL. You log in there, you can chat in there and give it a test. You don't get to keep your data there because it is testing. And then you give us feedback and we reward you. That's the entire goal here. Because, Bittensor rewards those who contribute, right? So in the spirit of Bittensor, we're giving back to those who are helping us test these things. So thank you to the community. We had multiple good testers. They found a bug. They told me, hey, the chutes prices are all wrong. I looked and I said, you're right. The chutes prices are visually completely wrong. So got that fixed in like 2 seconds, rolled it out yesterday. So those are the big product releases this week. And then there's just a ton under the hood that's going under the surface. So I've got Nick Anderson, head of the subnet. He has finished end-to-end testing that we have in our local net. We have minor submission. We got validation. We are now on the home stretch here. Today, Peyton is going to run through that, and he's going to test mining on the local net and give the feedback. We're figuring out the price of a submission. We're figuring out who's going to pay the inference. We're down to those small decisions that are just brass tacks. So that should tell you, hey, we're the last little nitpicky details left at this point. It's going great. And we have an amazing, strong team through the Bittensor team, plus the Ditto team. It's just a recipe for success there. So Nick Anderson on my team, full ownership of that. Omar and I helping him out. Let's see. We are cooking on, I've personally been cooking on Ditto companies, which I showed off last week. And I'm attempting to roll this out today. This is something I can share screen and demo some stuff. We can probably take 20 to 40 minutes on this to go into that. But this is about to be a harness for your entire team. Forget coding harness, forget memory harness. This is team harness. This is our take on Claude Tag came out and we're this is what we're building towards, but Ditto flavored way better. So those are the main updates. Coming up next, next week, mining's going to be live. That's our goal, and we believe we're going to hit it. Ditto V2 is going to come after that, and it's going to be essentially everything we've been building towards, packaged up nicely with a bow wrapped on it. That's going to be beautiful. And then everything we've already discussed is on the roadmap after that. It's user monetization. It's building out the company features that I just mentioned. We're just on the foundation. There's a lot more to build there. So that's coming through. And and then giving more responsibilities to the subnet. That is top of our mind too, because spend that emissions, boys. All right, so that's all for me. That's kind of all I had to cover.
Okay, that's great. What I want to do is go into what you just said about that demo for a company. I'm a user of this, and can I take this a moment to be very candid? I operate in Bittensor. I live in Bittensor essentially. I feel like I'm probably one of the people that uses AI the least. This is also why I've refused to do certain demos, because I want to be someone who uses the thing that I'm demoing. Right? I don't want to put my name behind something, be trying to figure out the thing. I use Ditto Voice, so I'm going to go use Ditto Voice as I demo it. I tried to upload files, so I'm going to demo when I couldn't, and now that I can leave feedback because I did. To that point, I'm super, let me add this to the scene. I'm super, excited about Ditto V2 because it's finally the thing that I as a CEO can use that makes AI useful. I don't know about you guys, but if you're non-technical, AI is pretty fucking useless. What is it gonna make you a script that you could probably make on your own? It's critical thought in 15 minutes of time is gonna save you no thought in an hour of messing around with some prompt, right? So that's how I've been operating. But as I've been getting glimpses of V2 and enhanced memory systems and being able to share context and files with my friends, I'm using AI more. So that's the lead off to, hey, show me how as a company I can coordinate with my friends, because today I try to share a file in Ditto and it was an issue. And when I said, hey, I have an issue, you said, I can't wait to show you this.
Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, thank you for highlighting this stuff. So I'm going to show everybody a sneak peek of what's coming, and just think of this as the foundation, and just picture in your head, like, what's going to get built on top. It's all going to get built on top. But like, we're seeing the evolution of your feedback. Like, as you can already tell, your complaints, whatever you're saying to Ditto to tell to us, the Discord, it all goes into the product development. Like, that is how, and I'm about to show you what that looks like on a graph. So you're about to see Ditto companies. Welcome to Ditto companies. So normally what we have today in Ditto, we have main memory, we have a main agent, and I can talk and say hello. And this is Ditto like single player. Okay. If I rip this tab, we're still good. Perfect. Okay. We're seeing Ditto single player right now, but we've been talking about how Ditto is like a team product. So how do we do that? Well, Ditto has a new companies feature. So this is what's upcoming. Now I have a graph called Omniara, which is the company. So picture, actually, I think we're going to end up calling these workspaces, because workspaces are a familiar word. So these are really like Omniara workspaces. That's what you're seeing here. Your main memory is your main workspace. That's where all of your main context lives. That's what you have today in Ditto, and see this here. But about our company's context, let's hop over to Omniara right now. We're going to see a different graph load. Completely different graph is loaded. And the way I populated this graph was Command K, imports. We have an import tab here where I actually had an old Obsidian workspace that had a bunch of data. And I want to import into the OmniGraph, and I want to import an Obsidian vault. I hit choose a folder, and basically this will open up a native file picker. I pick a folder. Point is, this is an Obsidian graph. Everybody is tweeting these crazy mental knowledge graphs that people are making with Obsidian. This is an Obsidian graph grabbed into Ditto, and it worked flawlessly. Like, you could have the messiest Obsidian graph in the world, but we're indexing that onto these different topics. So in that graph, there's a ton of talk about patents, omnisynth, back when we were making musical instruments. This is all spot on. This is all context from like 4 years ago. We got our top subjects here, the light framework, which is what we were doing with LED stuff. I could generate an insight report in about 15 seconds or so. Just kidding. This is a dev branch, noted. And I can chat over this, and my whole team can chat on this Omniara graph. So for example, Sebi is actually a member of this company. I would hop over to companies, I would hit Omniara, and nope, Sebi, you actually need to join, no worries, but I'm gonna drop you a link. So we got company invite links.
Drop me a link. I'll show how fast I can join, and then you'll
I'm gonna
refresh.
drop you a link. I'm gonna hit you on Telegram, sent you a link. So that should work. So just like Google Workspace, basically, like we're modeling ourselves after the best of the best. So we look at Notion, we look at Google Workspace, we look at like Active Identity, like blah, blah, blah. Things that make enterprises just like wet, you know? So we, so right now that link I sent, only people with Omniara emails can join. So Sebi, log in with your Omniara on Google.
Let me go back and do that. I logged in with my Resi email.
And it'll say something like, hey, brother, this link is not for you, my man.
Yeah, it did.
That's Ditto security for you guys. Yes. So yeah. Okay, so this is a collaborative graph, okay? So everybody in my company can see this graph, interact with this graph. Like, let me just type in the word MIDI. All these subjects just pop up about MIDI. Like, if I was looking for something, okay, and I wanted to manually like dig in, I can dig, but I don't have to do anything manual. So I can make a new agent. Let's call this light framework, because I want to chat about the light framework actually. So let's type in LED, and this is in the company graph. I'm about to make an agent that like everyone in the company should have access to.
And I do too. I have access to it. I'm a parent.
That's right, exactly.
and I
Literally.
can chat in it's well, the knowledge graph. It's basically a shared drive, and the self-organized
with shared
drive.
chats.
So yeah, so you don't have to do anything besides just do, and then it'll organize itself and allow collaborators within the company of any kind to add or read and write to these files, right?
Exactly.
Oh
So
my
here, I
god.
just created an agent, and Sebi will see this agent too. Oh, looks
Wait,
like
wait.
that maybe a
I could
bug.
I could even demo, dude, making zip. You have it. We already did it. Never mind. But I'm saying this is perfect. This is exactly what I needed.
Exactly, man. Okay, so it looks like, I mean, this worked, but it shouldn't say. It should say. It shouldn't say new chat. Shouldn't say new chat. So like I said, this is a live demo. Like, let's just hit this button, review lighting tech choices. Okay, cool. It's going to pull up relevant memories. So like this is all context that doesn't pollute my personal Ditto account. And yet I'm able to switch between these memory banks. Maybe that's what we call it, like a memory bank. Like what do we call this? Is it a workspace? Is it a
It's
group?
basically a drive. Honestly, it's like
It's a drive. It is a drive.
It's a
Exactly.
company cloud. That's really what it is. It's just like all of the data. So
All the data. And I don't have to dig through this stuff. Like if I had Obsidian, like I would have had to find some Obsidian extension or hook it up to my agent or blah, blah, blah. But like this is just a graph. Like this is just a drive I switched to, and I'm just immediately chatting with the information. And the agent decided to like make an artifact for me, which failed, LOL. But again, dev mode, my friends. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just chatting with my context like straight away. Like it's searching the subjects, the memories. It's like I didn't have to manually dig through this stuff myself. I mean, look, let's be real. This is pretty, right? But do I really want to like trudge through this information myself? No. This is just a representation of what your agent is seeing when it's answering these hard questions for you. So like, yeah. So that's what you can do with a graph. And then let me show you one more thing, right? And we can all still see my screen. Beautiful.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
We were looking at the main company graph. This is something that you can publish and essentially make it public. That's a feature. So this is basically the Minos use case. So there's a graph. I'm even subscribed to Minos, so I can just switch over to the public Minos graph, and it's not as pretty, but yeah, it's Minos. It's a read-only graph that I can just look at. And this is useful when you need to share company information. But yeah, let me show you the feedback. This is one of my favorite things. This is what like tickles my brain when I think about the possibilities. So imagine that like your company had, 5, 20 of these different drives. This one's the feedback drive. And this whole graph is being generated by an automated agent that runs in our GitHub every single hour. So when you complain to Ditto, which I ask you to do, right, we have an agent that reads the complaints hourly. Then it files real GitHub issues and it saves Ditto memories down. And why do we do that? Because GitHub issues are great, but a Ditto drive is a semantically organized, self-organizing brain of content with basically infinite memory we're looking at here. So in like 2 clicks, first of all, I can see straight away that notifications are a top requested feature. I didn't even have to organize that or figure that out. Like I have an agent running in GitHub, reading feedback, filing issues, saving Ditto memories, and the Ditto system pulls out. Guess what? Notifications are really needed. What's the number 2 thing? Ditto code gets stuck sometimes. There's stuck agent jobs. There are enough users reporting about this that this is surfacing in the graph. And there's a few more examples of this. So at a glance, like just as a human, I know straight away, like what are the pressing issues? And then also, like I said, you can chat with everything. Our interface is all about chat. So I can ask a question like, what's an overview of the feedback? What about recommended actions? Let me just say like, what about iOS users, top issues impacting them? and it should be able to just search the graph.
So this is product improvement research in real time, as close to the end customer as you want. So if you're a builder, you should build on Ditto. Even
you can make one of these graphs for free and just start saving your feedback to it.
Tell me where you are on Ditto admin, because from what I can see is I can create a company, and the next natural thing is let me now host my app on Ditto so that I can have all these natural advantages, such as memory built into my product and memory built into the feedback. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. So you're basically seeing a sneak peek of Ditto admin, which I've been working on today to attempt to get it released today, tomorrow, but it's got to be quality. So we are doing something called a feature flag, which is, it's going to be a gradual rollout. We're trying to make it perfect. You've been seeing a preview of this the whole time. So it's the ability to make Ditto drives and use them like you're seeing, share them with your team or groups of people. And like this one, like I mentioned, I'm taking in feedback autonomously into it. So the way these Ditto drives really shine is not only when you're just using it as a person, it really shines when you're plugging it into other systems. And very soon, another thing that's been worked on is Ditto automations, much requested. People want scheduled tasks. My boy Nick Anderson has been building that, so expect that to be live like soon too. But my point is, this feedback is coming in autonomously. So if you're building an app, just think about like what are the systems that you can implement that are like infinity loop systems. So like we have a table that takes in the feedback. We have the agents that file the feedback. It's just an agent tool, goes in the database. We read that. All of that was that. And now we have a smart agent that you can use a pretty cheap model. It's reading that feedback and it's translating that. And that's all these little blurbs that you're seeing. These were automated, right?
So in you could have a feedback loop where once a feedback item or there's an item of feedback that has enough issues, right? Let's say Ditto code getting stuck on a certain thing X amount of times has happened, right? If there's an issue that's happened 10 times, then automatically use Ditto code to create the best PR to solve the problem within our security framework.
You literally, that's where we're going, Sebi. Like you hit the nail on the head. Like that is literally where we're going, right? Okay, because this is just the feedback collector agent, and what's cool about the feedback collector is like we're enhancing. Okay, the user makes a generic complaint. The user's Ditto files a better complaint to our team. So that's one level of prompt enhancement. Then we have an open code agent that does a level 2 of prompt enhancement because it has the repos and it's like, okay, I see user complaint. I also see the code. Now that's filing enhanced issues and it's saving these little reports into the Ditto graph. What have we produced now? We have produced this spiral graph of user issues that is ever growing, that has infinite storage. This is a small drive in terms of Ditto. I've seen much bigger drives, believe me. So now this is a resource that, like Sebi said, this is the next part in Ditto internally. We're gonna next make the fixer agent, okay? We made the triager agent. It's time to make the fixer agent. So just like Sebi said, you could take the top subjects of user feedback, you give those directly to the fixer agent. You say, here is the Ditto drive you can read from. Here are the issues, and it will be like, all right, this is a top issue. I need to do something on this. And because it has this Ditto drive, it can search historically to see what didn't work before. It just has a rich layer of context here. And the result is this self-improving software factory. So this is what's coming next. The next time you complain to Ditto in like 2 months, Ditto is going to come back to you with a link and say, hey, I fixed that for you. And I validated that it worked with a browser, but I need you to double check for me, right? You're going to click that link as a user. You will try the thing. You see if it's better. You checkbox that, you approve that. That then goes to us, and we see that the agents did the work, the user approved, or you can say, hey, that didn't fix it. Like, no, it's not doing quite right. A little bit of iteration. Comes to the Ditto team. We have ready to approve work. We prove it. It sails into production. That's
Right.
where we're going. We're going to close the loop. And imagine doing that for your business. And that's what we want to offer to people.
Right. I mean, there's countless products that like, users just use and they love to give feedback, right? Especially there's a lot of like these agent products where even if it's not a natural language product, your harness can flag whether it's feedback or not real easily. And
Correct.
that's what Ditto was, right?
Correct. And let me give you a key insight too, because we used to have a feedback page in the app that would require you to go up here, write out a feedback, nobody did it. Nobody, like proactive, but we just knew intuitively, we're like, okay, but people have to be complaining when they're chatting with Ditto. Why don't you give your agent, people have to be, we knew it and we were right. People have been complaining to the Ditto agent. So the tool is literally called file feedback for team. So Ditto's looking at there and is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to ping the Ditto team to fucking fix this.
Now, here's an idea. We can really like when you think about Venice, which is a subject we'll talk about later, you think about this bottleneck that is like access. Because everything is private and uncensored, you have this issue of access, which the product will not be able to have network effects and get better because of that. But if you're able to say, hey, my thing is constantly getting better all the time, but we don't know how to make it better until you tell us. So we can't see anything. Hopefully, as soon as possible, the direction, and this, we know the goal of the company is this: have a harness, everything harness that constantly improves. But you can be completely private and uncensored at the same time. Constant improvement and user feedback doesn't mean we have to see everything that you do. Only when you're extremely sure that you want to give us feedback. So it's autonomous, essentially. Are you sure hey, this seems like feedback. Should we pass it off to the team? By the way, nothing else that you're ever prompting in here is sent to the team.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. It's approval gated, and yeah, it's very clear when something you've done, like when something you've said like needs to go to the team. It's very obvious when you have a complaint, and yeah, we're gonna add the approval gate, and it'll just be like boom, yes, and then bam,
boom, yes, and bam. That's now you're talking Sebi talk. This is Sebi language. Boom, yes, and bam. Onomatopoeia. There we go.
So yeah, those are the main things with this whole new Ditto admin, Ditto companies feature. It's got a lot of like granular control, which for an enterprise, that was kind of what it had in mind. Yeah, and these graphs, like you can get into the weeds with these things as far as granular control for all your agents. You can manage all your agents here.
Can Ditto do this for me? Can I say, hey,
that's up next, man. It can't quite do it for you yet. So where I'm at is I've built a lot of the foundation. Like I've laid all this, I've poured all this concrete on the ground, which is this company tab, this graphs tab, and I'm not happy with the UI. So this is not how it's going to look end state. This is why I've been saying this is preview stuff you're seeing here. I'm shooting for functional, does the plumbing work? And I'm super close to the plumbing working correctly. And once the plumbing works, I'm launching it. Then I'm going to fine tune how this UX looks with my team together. We're going to fine tune this stuff. But yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just saying like I'm making making it clear that it's kind of funny too. Ditto knows you really well. Ditto doesn't know itself as well as it knows you, right?
Yeah.
It's not as actionable with itself as it is with you, right? It can connect to your other things. It can connect from other things. But the next stage, and something, ideally with V2 can be, hey, self-awareness of Ditto, not just, aware of you.
Oh yeah, okay. I appreciate you reminding me, get me back on the thread. But it was like, yeah, I built the foundation, and then it was like, but hey, where we're going is this Ditto main agent, like Sebi said, needs to be more aware of itself. So, I built this UI to be able to control this, but you're not going to have to live in this UI. You're going to live in this chat here. That's the entire goal.
Right.
Yeah.
You're either in chat or you're in file, and that's it.
Yeah. You're in chat. You're in conversation mode. Like you're just having a conversation. You're in chat mode. You're in a file. So yeah, I mean, strictly dashboards exist because they have to exist. And that's what you're seeing here. But that is not how we really intend. We're never going to delete these because you still need to at least see the state of things and be able to like tweak. But our intention is like chat is how everything's going to work. And like Sebi yesterday showed off Claude, where like it asks you user questions. It gives you a little form, multiple choice and stuff.
Generative UI.
Generative UI, exactly. It's the most like ergonomic way for apps to exist.
Yeah, it's I think the chat focus, like the chat baseline, with generative elements, and then stacking on top of that. And I'm glad we're right on time here. But stacking on top of that, you have like this ability to connect your entire computer, right? I've been showing you Zoe, and I'm like, oh my God, we've been talking about this idea. It's all here. Maybe it's a good time to transition to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that being said, generative UI is one thing. It's going to get even like feedback triage is like the precursor to this generative UI. Because what happens is you get enough feedback that the agents essentially can build their own elements in the UI and make it higher conversion. Another thing I wanted to hear real quick before we go into subjects about AI and where things are currently with Venice and Zoe and things like that, Fable. Talk to me about this simulation engine. Do you have any sort of thoughts on it? My last stream, I made a really strong take. That strong take was that my strong take, oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my gosh, this was, what was the subject that was just on? We went into Zoe, Zoe back into, what was my hot spice last time?
Oh, no.
I lost it. It'll come back to us. What were you just about to go into next? We're going to go into Zoe, Venice,
we were talking about generative UI. We were talking about simulations. Wow. You had a hot take on simulations. We got it.
On simulation is two things, actually. One, the harness is really the wing. There's going to be frontier models. Don't compete at the model level, in my opinion, unless you're like Shoots. We're competing at the harness level.
Yeah, because we have big labs like working on that stuff. And it's like, I saw a take I kind of agree with. It's like, hey, maybe you go and you fine tune Kimi K2.6. Guess what? K2.7 is going to be out in a month and a half, and it's going to be better than your fine tuned crap. So like,
yes, you might as well make the best harness because the harness will update with that new model. So you invest all of your time. What you compound is the harness. Where you spend all your energy is the harness. The winner of the harness game is now the real spicy take. Is not the person who's the best at making at training models or doing reinforcement learning, or sorry, there's no model training agents to go do this, but it's the person who has the best simulation engine of user activity. Because then you can scale feedback. You can before you launch a feature, you can have basically a month's worth of feedback triage in a day, in an hour. That's the person who can accelerate the most and get to the most feedback and benchmarks.
That's true. Like the more realistic we can make that, like we're at a stage where like LLMs can do computer use, they can simulate an actual user. So you just scale up that ability to make it more and more realistic. And like the way Omar's got it designed so far is the simulated users will complain about things, and then we're making sure that Ditto should file the feedback tool. Like it should file feedback when the complaints happen, things like this. And yeah, you just build that engine out to make it more and more realistic. And look, everybody's hungry for user feedback. Like everybody's hungry for PMF, product market fit. So the more accurate we can make this thing and like represent real segments of people, etc. Yeah, you can just like.
One thing that I even brought up was like, you could have a segment of like Indian users. You can have a segment of Italian users. You can have a segment of, people from Kansas. You can
For
have
sure.
all of these, specific like groups of economies of people. At the end of the day, it's like a pseudo email. Like it's just all fake data. So how fast can we generate fake data becomes the question.
Yeah, it's fake data. And the fake data is like fake user interactions with stuff. And you can also generate like fake but believable countries with fake but believable nationalities. Like you can extend there. You can sort of pen test your product to like try to catch bugs early. But yeah, I think it's mainly about like Sebi said, like segments or audiences, real data about that, and then bam, like product market validation, or like even vice versa. Like you could have an idea and then the system could discover the ideal customer profile for you. I feel like that's also super valuable. Sometimes people just, actually all the time, people have ideas. People even have like code bases laying around. The synthetic data engine could give you answers about who would like this thing, or just be real with you and just be like, look, I don't think this has the PMF like.
Well, no, it wouldn't even say it. Like the engine itself would tell you, but the user would just use it and stop using it.
That's right. Yes.
So
the simulated user would be like, nah.
Yeah. So like, how do you get to the point where it makes a conscious decision of nah? Whoever can get to that point is like seriously an impressive person, right?
And that's the retention thing, like retention is kind of binary. Did they stay or did they leave, and then it's granular. Like
I give feedback, and retention is basically, this is a big one, is speed to service. When I give feedback to Ditto, how soon am I getting a notification saying it's fixed?
That's where we're going next, dude. I'm really like, I can't wait to notify people because I want to get in touch with people. Haven't done it yet, but yeah, dude, I want to notify the complainers, be like, hey, bro, it's fixed. Update your app,
Yeah. Yeah. And it will be great because, you say, hey, we noticed you complained. It's like they know they told us. It's not like we're overreaching, trying to like look, fish for any data. There's no need for user data access.
They told us.
They basically submitted a report through this generative UI, through this UI
it's consent.
that basically knows. So, this is the precursor to generative UI. I have something that I want to go into next, but please, Peyton, go ahead. This is your segment.
Just want to say too, it's not just, it is complaints, but it's also mainly a lot of asks. Like we showed, people really want notifications. We noticed a trend that people wanted GM, Shoot support, Claude support. So I launched it this week because I prioritized it. So issues and requests.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, by the way, I just signed in, giving you some live user feedback. I just signed in. I was able to go into my settings in Ditto, sign up into developer, under developer as admin, right? You should just change that to admin, by the way. Now it's telling me to update. Hold on. I could be wrong already.
I thought the developer was more like fitting, but
more like admin, right? Because you have account, right? But then you would have like admin would make most sense, or like yeah, because admin is that. So then we have an app, right? We have the Zipcode. Actually, we have an AI app, so let's just build the Zipcode AI app in here. Whoa. Okay, so I can actually not. Did we present this, dude? What the fuck am I even looking
This
at?
is still kind of in development. Like, yeah, okay, so this okay, listen, so this is live, but like I said earlier, concrete foundation. Like the house isn't quite built yet, but this exists, okay? So let me explain the idea of what this is. So and there's a lot of pieces to this. What we're seeing here is the ability to sign in with Ditto in your own front ends. Like, let's say I'm building a generative recipe app. I want to generate the perfect recipe given a user's fridge and the preferences. How would I go about that? If you use the Ditto app platform, you have the ability to have people sign in with Ditto and request to read their main drive. And then this recipe app gets your preferences from your Ditto account about your actual food preferences. Again, through that permission exchange. Yeah, so what you're seeing is he just made an app. That is a link that you could send to your people and say, yo, I need to try this app out. So this is our take on test flight, essentially. The app gets installed on your account. The app gets a little drive attached to your account where it can store its data. And then the app can request to read your main drive. So what does that even mean, and what's the benefits here? Okay, yeah, read its app memory, read your main, save new memories, blah, blah, blah. Those are different permission levels.
So this is the precursor to App Store. It's basically like, hey.
This is the App Store. This is the Ditto SDK, exactly. Because what does the App Store have? App Store's got Apple Pay. It's got sign in with Apple. It's got these management things, right? That it's a platform. It's an operating system, and you want your application to be able to plug into the operating system, right?
Yeah.
That is what this Ditto admin feature is it is your Ditto app SDK. So if you were building an app in Ditto, what would you want? As a developer, you would want access to the user's memories to be able to create memory-based applications. You would want to have,
or to be able to say, actually, you can't allow me to see any of this stuff, right?
That too.
Because we're not going to be able to just ask and see it if they don't want to see it either. So great,
which is very, again, like Apple too, because when you install an app on iOS, it's very strict about allow this app to see your files, allow this app to look at your this and that. That's what Sebi's talking about, exactly.
Right.
So so all that exists. So for our app builders out there, right? And on the previous stuff I'm showing, sign in with Ditto is a thing, which means if you made an app, you could get authentication through Ditto, and now you can start saving onto the drive. So we give you basically storage space as part of our cloud. Up next, we're going to have inference. So you're going to have all these APIs basically, just like we said SDK. But you're going to be able to create Ditto apps. And a Ditto app is a new kind of concept, but it is an app that remembers who you are. I think that's the closest thing that I would describe it as.
It doesn't have to only be a Ditto app is the point, right? It's like you can have this thing, the back end can be Ditto, right? That's what a Ditto app means. Where your user data is stored is done by Ditto, because we're going to tie memory into all of that. Mm-hmm. Or you can build your own thing, to my understanding. You can build your own thing and have this Ditto app read a code base that might be, just on GitHub already, right? That's also code mode.
Correct.
Being able to read code and display that in the application, no?
Yes, that's correct. And let's build on this. So where would a Ditto user want to use an app? So one place would be within their Ditto app. They want to use the Ditto App Store, essentially. This is where they could install third-party tools like Katana, where they're like, oh, I want this cool development environment. Or the Minos app. They're like, hey, I want to mine on the Minos subnet. Cool. There's a Minos app in the Ditto App Store. You install that. now you have essentially a Minos miner like installed in your Ditto app. The other side of this thing is, yeah, it's amazing. And then here's the other side. Okay, businesses need their own websites, they need their own front ends, and we don't want to take that away from you. We're trying to bring your mobility up here. We're trying to make you money. So therefore, we are a cloud, but you need to have your own hosting. You need to have your own domain and everything. We believe that and we agree with that. So what's coming is you'll be able to, you can already do this. You can already launch websites, attach your domain. We're going to make that 10 times easier. And you're going to be able to like log in with Ditto. Like, let's say you have like coolshoeshop.com. You created it with Ditto. Now you can open that and you can build a sign in with Ditto button, which, to be clear, for the devs that aren't here, that's a pain in the butt. Like, every dev knows that adding sign in is like kind of one of those annoying things that you can easily mess up. So we take care of sign in. Yeah, we take care of auth. We'll take care of database. Yeah.
On this note, if you're a company,
yeah,
you have your front end,
mm-hmm.
you have your back end system, right?
Yep.
That can be through Ditto.
Yes.
The best articulation, guys, that I can think of why Ditto needs to exist is this subject. We are pretty much saying we want you to build an ecosystem, an environment of apps. Do me a favor. Go to OpenClaw and invest in it and contribute to it. Good luck. Go to Hermes. Go invest in it and contribute to it. Good luck. Go to Claude. Go invest in it.
They're not very open to contributions generally. Yeah.
Claude basically exists, and ChatGPT or ChatGPT Codex now exists basically to say, hey, wrap our API, our harness, and our model, and then basically give us all of your ideas for enterprise applications. Ditto is saying, we're never going to steal your idea. We actually want to incentivize you, and this is an eventual use case. Let's incentivize an app creator for every dollar we generate. Let's give them 10 cents back as a rebate for their users. Let's get people building Ditto apps, because that's like you and I building subnets on Bittensor. There are levers that you can pull. This is Reed's law in action.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we want to use a portion of emissions to incentivize apps on the Ditto App Store, because like, why wouldn't we do that? Like,
right. Real revenue. You can just look at the app API or the revenue from all apps, like the GMV essentially, and then pay out 10% of that to the contributors.
Right. So, like, we're building an app store, we're building a cloud platform. In this world, like, you gotta zoom out and build really big, because like all the low-hanging fruit has kind of been gotten after, right? So like, my view on the world and with Ditto is like, we're trying to take the best of like everything and put it all in one place essentially. And we're able to do that with agents. We're able to code like way more than we could before. We're experts on how to use agents effectively to do this stuff.
Wow, dude, I'm very like inspired by like how different this is, and I'm honestly inspired because I'm pissed. Like, AI is a fucking scam. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, we are promoting an AI company here. We care for an AI company, but at the end of the day, unless you're a developer and there's like almost like binary capabilities for code,
you're right.
To some degree, right? Of course, you need the human in the loop. But as a non-technical person, there's such a lift on maintaining the thing or doing the thing that this leaves us to a perfect time in the live stream to transition into a company that I recently found that actually articulates the thing that I've been not avoiding, but kind of holding back. Because it's not Ditto V2 graphics, and we're not saying this is us. One, I want to give praise to a company that I think is where the world should be. This is Zoe Computer. I think it is. I have I'm going to share my screen and go through it. But
Do it.
to preface that, Zoe Computers is essentially building what Ditto V2 is going to be. Now, unfortunately, I'm giving honest feedback here. Their product is not what I was promised here, which is okay because it's very new and I expect it to get better. But
Right.
at the core of why I'm saying this is Ditto V2. This thing here, and you can see my screen, correct, Peyton?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to articulate. Like, you guys see the part there where it says web hosting, cloud computer, cloud storage, and then like Sebi's been banging in our heads about chat and files, like,
so this
and
is
connections.
admin. This is admin.
Yeah, web hosting is admin, right?
This is essentially your like knowledge graph,
files,
right, or files. And then cloud computer is essentially, hey, if you have a Ditto account, you have code mode, and it's going to be able to run all of these things, or you can access compute. Correct?
Right. Essentially, yeah, cloud computer and web hosting kind of like those start to like mesh together. But yeah, like this is the vision. So like we're in this paradigm now where code is so easy to make. I mean, look, good code, quality engineering, still scarce. But yeah, Sebi, you or I could spin up a little demo application in like 30 minutes. But how long is it going to take us to deploy that thing? Like, we're going to have to go to a website, what year is this? We're going to have to like go to this dashboard and click around a bunch of buttons. It takes like 2 to 3 times as long to deploy your website than to actually just code it up. And that's a problem. So at Ditto, we believe that should happen as quickly as the coding itself. You shouldn't have to fumble around with dashboards. Dashboards are dead. Like, dashboards still need to exist so you can view the stuff and tickle it, but you shouldn't have to use a dashboard, period. You shouldn't have to go to Codex and use computer use to fumble with it. That's all gone. And that's what Zoe is kind of trying to bring forth when they say web hosting, cloud storage, cloud computer. It is creating personal apps that are capable apps that are not just, oh, I made an app. No, buddy, that's just an HTML file. Cool. Like, it's actual applications with databases and blah, 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 all the magic developer doohickey stuff.
And because it's going through the Ditto admin system, there are checks and balances. There's a process that says, hey, is this person asking for too much data? Did they build it in the wrong way? Obviously, there's going to be guardrails, but hey, Apple protects me as a user. I'm willing to use apps on the iPhone in any way that the app even allows me, because I know Tim Cook would never allow me to be in a bad situation from an app. We are kind of giving that same promise to users, saying, hey, we're going to give some checks so that, yes, it's private and uncensored, but you're not going to be able to have illegal activities on Ditto and do horrible things, through an application that should be trusted. That's what a Ditto app is. Sure, anyone can host a link and do whatever the hell they want. It sure as hell is not a Ditto app, right? There's a level of quality and trust that Ditto apps will embody just based on the natural process that we're putting in place. But to bring together a lot of the ideas you mentioned, but why I brought this image up is this isn't for I'm not excited for this product for technical people. To be quite frank, I could give a shit if technical people used it. Right, like, go use Katana, go use Claude Code. I could not care.
You've been taken care of already.
You've been taken care of already, exactly. Like, let the people in the back get the popcorn, right? Basically, I, as this frustrated CEO that's like, I have so much shit to do. I have so many different places, like just switching from Gmail, from Slack, right? In front of me right now is a 50-inch monitor. This is truth. In front of me right now, if I turned around my camera, it's a 50-inch monitor and a laptop in front of me. And I still am like, oh my God, like, I don't have enough real estate, because the alternative is just clicking and moving all the time and just switching everything. So the best environment for me is a home, is my operating system. My operating system should have guardrails, but it's connecting models everywhere natively with all of my chats as context and capability, read and write to these chats, and read and write to all of my integrations. Tabs. This is tabs This is apps, and this is
Inference.
the inference for your home. And I can
Right.
go live in Ditto, and from Ditto, when Kyle or Ethan messages me, whether it's a dev or a growth item, it will tell me what to do. It'll say, "Hey, this message came in. Do you want me to send this? I think we should send this." And through feedback and better feedback and better feedback and constant usage, which right now we do have. If we go to Ditto, hey Ditto.ai numbers, we're at almost 1,600 users, we're at 1,500 users, guys. These 206,000 lifetime actions is an immense amount of context, plenty for us to launch V2 in a way that a non-technical person can go into one place, their home, which will soon be their Ditto, and have their chats, their friends, and their files, which is your online experience. That's my rant on this amazing image, which is an amazing articulation of how we work. Right, chat info comes in to the home, it pushes out to the apps and the models as well. Holy cow! Tell me what you think. Can we do that, Peyton? Are you confident that the devs or the non-techies are going to be able to use Ditto V2? Because this is the realest question I'm going to ask all day.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm confident, man. I will just say I think that this is a progressive step up, and like you'll see it with Zoe. Like Zoe has everything listed, but not all of the integrations work. So this is how things go. Like we launch with the integrations and then we add more and more integrations. So like the bottleneck isn't the Ditto team. Ditto team is super fast. The bottleneck is like making external integrations, all this other stuff. So it's back to the house analogy. Like the foundation is nearly done for all of Ditto V2. And then it's like, and then you install like just one thing at a time, like build each bit of the house one at a time. So my answer is yes, dude. It's going to be a thing. It's just that people should expect that Ditto V2 will go live, and some of the integrations you're looking for won't be there. But we're going to focus on the most important ones in our heads based on our research and what the community tells us is important. Those are our focuses. Yeah, you know, support for more types of emails, support for Notion, blah blah blah. Like, so yeah, we listen. A lot of community members appreciate that, and we appreciate you. Right back at you.
Wow. Well, man, look, we had an intention of going 45 minutes on Ditto Weekly. It's going to get chopped down to like 5 to 15 minutes.
Hell yeah.
And go for another 15 minutes to talk about Zoe. We didn't really talk about Venice. I want to give you a last minute to say where should people go, what is going on next, and also maybe you can leave that off with the note on Fable. Hit it.
Okay, thanks, Sebi. Let's wrap it up. So thank you everybody for your attention. Thanks for the love. It's really been a pleasure to be in the Bittensor community. Like I love it. We've been getting incredible feedback from people. We've always been asking, every show I'm on, I tell people to go try out Ditto and complain to Ditto and ask Ditto for features. That all finds its way to our team. We are looking at that stuff every single day. We are launching stuff constantly. Sebi just pulled up our landing page. So there, try Ditto just like that. And you'll notice on the landing page, there were also links for iOS and Android. So you can hit that stuff up too. Go try Ditto, like Sebi's saying. So go try Ditto is always our only call to action. Go try Ditto, complain to Ditto. And here's what's coming. Subnet is going to go live. This is just the beginning of the subnet. This is the beginning of the first competition. But like we are going to go to the nth degree of we are gonna put our miners to work, brother. Like they're going to be doing all kinds of different stuff. There is going to be opportunities for everybody out there. So stay live. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, Ditto V2, Ditto admin, Ditto companies, Ditto group chats. That's about it for now. And last note, Fable's back, which I'm happy about. So I'm using Fable to finish up the company stuff. I built a lot of it with Opus, and it was pretty good, but Fable's really nice to put the finishing touches on everything.
Tell me your feedback. You're my AI guy. When I have AI questions, I go to you, I go to Omar. Whoever picks up first.
Okay, Fable. It's able to. Fable is good at prompting other AIs and doing like workflows. So Fable really shines when you try to give it as hard a task as you can. Like almost think of the hardest thing you can, and it'll kind of shine there. And it does this thing called dynamic workflow, where it writes some code, but the code spawns agents, like sub agents, but not just 2, 3 of them, like 25, 35, whatever, a lot of sub agents. And then those go and do, and this applies to coding and everything. They're reading your code. It is orchestrating. Fable can orchestrate other AIs and prompt them very good. So you can use it to work on a lot of code. So the Ditto code has gotten very big because we have a lot of features and blah, blah. So sometimes you really need a dynamic workflow. If you're doing something that touches like all the code, that's where you need to spin up like 30 agents, and they're going, and each one's working on a 3, 4 files. And then you have another wave of agents that review it, that like audit it, and then like blah blah. So these dynamic workflows are proving to be very useful. That's the main thing I'll say with Fable. It's very good at doing the dynamic workflows. It is nice to chat with. It feels intelligent. It has caught some issues and repaired some issues in the PRs, so that's good. Like it's
Codex or Fable?
Opus or Fable? I mean, Fable's better, no question. I mean,
Codex.
Oh man. Look, we'll wait. Dude, no, we'll wait and see 5.6. I mean, Fable is better than GPT 5.5, like hands down. There's no question about it in my mind. So yeah, I mean, Claude kind of took the lead in the last couple weeks. It just feels like it's a neck and neck thing. 2 weeks from now, Codex is probably going to be in the lead. I personally pay for both of them because like I need that much inference. Like I'm just inferencing all freaking day. I try to keep both of them full-time employed. It is a lot of work to try to get a bunch of agents like going on actually useful stuff. So I like Codex for hard engineering tasks. I like Claude for taste, design, architectures. But no, I'm a Fable guy right now. Definitely. I'm happy it exists. I'm going to try to squeeze the most I can out of it until July 7th. We have it in the plan for 5 more days. After that, we got to pay full price for it. And I'm probably going to be one of those guys that does that for certain things.
So here's my next natural question. My last question for you. Peyton, you've been great. You told us that currently you're running Ditto as your engine with like Claude's Fable 5 selected as your model. Okay. What is your open source model? That's
GLM 5.2. I mean, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close runner up.
Close runner up would probably be Kimi K2.7. So, all right, the one thing with GLM, you can't attach images. It's a pretty big downside, but people say that it's like Opus level intelligence, so it's pretty good.
If you're going to use it, what model should you do fusion with so that you have that capability?
So if you're going to do fusion, I think that taking Kimi plus GLM would be a good combo of 2 affordable models, and it would make them GPT quality type stuff. You can combine open and closed models. So you can take like a GPT plus a GLM, interesting combo. Just the one thing with GLM, it doesn't support images, which is kind of a big downside. But yeah, that's what I would do.
On this note, I would love to see how Claude performs on a benchmark, and then how we would perform with just say GLM and Kimi with our harness.
I want to know.
Is it 4.6? Is it 4.8? Is it Fable 5? At what level can we get to?
Yes.
I think if we tell Omar to run that simulation as he's going through these benchmarks, even he's probably got the ENVs up. So maybe when you get off of here, ping Omar, because the community would love to see that. I know that's a post that I'd love to make for the team.
I can, yes, I can say at least on the Ditto Bench site, we have one little section about does fusing models help? And it says the surprise, 3 of the cheapest models fused into one panel score 0.809 on tool calling, which does better than Grok, Gemini 3.5 Flash, and apparently even an Opus plus a GPT fused. So yes, fusion is how small models punch heavyweight, but so far, none of the fusions have topped the board. This is going to be updated. Like, this was a run from a little while ago, and yeah. The point is, this is all exciting stuff. We're also using Open Router's fusion. We're going to come up with our own fusion. It's my plan, because it's starting to be called mixture of agents. Hermes coined that term, MOA, mixture of agents. So better believe Ditto is going to have our own take on this thing.
Feature. It should just be like a feature, a tool call in the harness, like, you know, which agent are you calling?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of how Open Router did it, you know, and it's great. But I want to try not to over-index on building everything on top of Open Router. Like, you gotta bring it in-house too. You know what I mean?
It's kind of our thing, right? It's like, hey, we're this cloud, you know, this operating system, but also there are these primitive things that why should we pay more for? We can get wholesale deals. I talked to Bitmine today. They're like, hell yeah. We talked to D-Search, right?
Yeah.
We've talked to, Ninja. We've talked
Targon.
to Katana, Targon. Hey, let's do these bulk deals. You guys, Hippias, we do the bulk deals. We get a good rate from them. You guys give us a savings. If we save 20% on price from a wholesale deal, we'll give you guys a 10% discount. They're happy because they're going to get scale. And we're happy because we're able to get a little 10% margin on saved money. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
You've built the right concrete. You've built with the right concrete. And now it is time to turn on this, to do the product launch, field user feedback for the first couple weeks. And you let me turn on the advertising engine. I've been talking to you and the investors and the team about this. This is game over. It's UGC on Meta, on LinkedIn, on X, incentivized content campaigns. This is coded.
It's coded. I agree. And I just can't wait to just use our miner emissions for all kinds of different things. Like what we're launching next week, just know that that is the first of many things that are going to come on the subnet.
Amazing, man. Well, dude, I don't want to keep you too long. You are the person who should not be, wasting your time here with me.
Not at all. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Again, I'll give you a last chance. Where should people go? And what are you for the clip?
Peace and love, everyone. Follow at Hey Ditto AI. Follow at Peyton Spencer and at Sebi Rubino. We are the boys here. We got Omar on the X as well. Just be on the lookout. Be in all the chats. Ping me anytime. I try to be very active and just very on the nose with everything. So I try to be very accessible, and anyone who's pinged me knows that. So I'm here for you. Ditto team is here for you. We are building your operating system, and goodbye.
Thank you, Peyton. I'll see you, sir.
Peace and love.
Okay. So now I can remove. And we got Peyton. We'll take him out of here. All right. What a guy. I love that guy. Wow. What could I say that is more exciting than that? I'll tell you what. Yesterday, we started the process of audits, or the audit process for Zipcode Finance, and it's coming to fruition. we have our lender memo. I'll be sharing all these resources, but it's just we're trying to balance. Hey, Bittensor is really telling you to incentivize right now. Our model is initial incentive heavy, right? You overpay on incentives initially after you do an audit, so you can get a proof of concept for say 30 to 90 days. After that, 90-day, like, hey, does this thing work? Was it audited? Money, millions of dollars went through it. Once you go through those trials and tribulations, which are exciting, right? These are like where real numbers are getting pushed, real revenue is coming to the protocol. As we approach that, and as we create that circumstance with a vault that is getting incentives, we are going to share every detail. As we share every detail, we just need to communicate it right. We don't know how much incentive we're going to give right now. We know that there is a yield from anywhere from 10 to 15%, as like an introductory yield, possibly 20%. Anything beyond that might be a bit insane. But at the end of the day, you have a borrower paying 6% yield. All of that yield or interest, all of that interest is revenue to the company. Right? We pay out yield, right, APY, and we entirely in incentives. So the yield, the revenue goes to us as the party that is making this all possible. So revenue comes in through APR, right? Interest payments, in addition to transaction fees. Right? When you do a transaction, there's a 0.1% fee. So by the time you've withdrawn or deposited and withdrawn, that's 0.2%. And then in the case of a borrower, the time you borrow and then pay back, it's 0.2% in addition to the 6% that you are paying to access that money. So the structure, we'll go back to Figma actually. Let me just make sure I'm not doxing anything I shouldn't. I'm not. All right, here we go. So, yeah, this is super zoomed out. Last time we worked on this together. Oh, jeez. I just got lost. This is so bad. Okay. I am home. Boom. So we talked about this last time. What I'm talking about is this. What's actually happening is we are paying basically a better articulation of this. The relationship is pretty much the same in terms of like who is doing what and paying what, but this isn't even here. All right, 6% APR. So let's go through some numbers here, folks. Let's go through some numbers. Boom. If we have, let's just make it easy. For every $1 million in the system for this general structure, right, let's just say we're paying 10% APY. Right, over the course of the year, let's say this person uses the money 10 times. Right, so we get 2% in fees, 6% in APR, we offer 7.9%. Right, so we pay out 7.9%. The million is not ours, but the million is making 6% borrow rate and 2% over the course of the year in fees. What we underwrite is actually 4%. So that's how, if you can actually give like an 8 to 10% and make 2. And so this is an example. We have 6% plus 4% that is being paid to us, which is 10%, right? So we get $10 is like our ARR, right? And then we pay out this, or this would be 10% is 100K ARR, and we pay out less. Oh my God, Figma, please just let's just say here we're paying out, if this is 10%, we're paying out 80,000. And this is 80K APY. Paid in alpha, mind you. That's insane. There we go. This is a very clean story. So these people here, oh my God. These people here, they're basically playing with this $1 million. I don't touch this shit. we don't play with their principle. You know, that's the whole thing. Don't play with principle. Okay. So there's this $1 million. This borrower wants the $1 million. So they're willing to pay fees for it. We take all of the transaction fees, which over the course of the year will be something like 4%, and APR, which will be like 6%. It's very standard and actually very low, especially with such a high volume borrower, right? This, if they're cycling this money and giving us 4%, that means they're doing $40 million in volume, right? They're cycling through it, the money 40 times, because it's a 0.1% fee, right? 0.1 times 40 is 4%. So you get 4% in fees, 6% in interest, you get 10%, right? That 10% is really, AKA 10% APY. This is $100,000 in ARR, right? If we have $1 million earning 10%, and we are the one that is earning these fees, we then pay out 8%, right? We now pay out 8% APY. So we pay 8%, we earn 10%. We didn't have to put any of this money up. So we give a platform for these novel products to be made, and we're just making a spread based on the activity of this borrower. We just have to ensure this borrower is going to do more than this cost, right? We make more than 80,000, so it's profitable. And we now have a company that has $100,000 ARR, right? Just on $1 million. So for every $1 million, you can expect 100K ARR to our network. If we attract, let's say, $50 million, that is $5 million in ARR that we can expect from this general expectation and structure. So that is the one lesson that I'm going to give on Zipcode today. It's a complicated one, but you see exactly who, like, this is the vault. The borrower is getting the money and paying us the fee because we allowed them to get this money. Without our Oracle, they don't get access to this money unless they have like Bitcoin or like another asset. And then we go and pay the lender. In fact, this should only be one way. It shouldn't be both ways. But I don't know how to change that. That's fine. So yeah, we pay the lender less than what we earn overall. They are still very happy with 8% APY in this type of example because it's real estate backed. Secondary markets are there to always make this vault liquid. That's how you cycle the funds so much. And yeah, so I will leave you guys on this zipcode.network. Just have it up while I talk. Basically, oh, and I hope you guys were able to see that. It wasn't too big. Let's see. Hold on, let me go back to this Figma. Is it big enough? Kind of. I think you guys get it. But just to make it really clear, I'll give you this. right? We don't touch the $1 million. It's here, right? It just depends on, does this borrower have the qualifications to get this million? They pay money for this money. It's around 10% per year after fees and interest, which is a great deal compared to what they're having to pay. And then we make that money as revenue, that 100K, $100,000 as ARR, and then we pay out 80,000 APY to the lender or lenders, right? This could be many lenders, but also many borrowers, right? You can have a vault, and as long as the borrowers qualify, right? And you can also have, right, for every 5 million, you go 500K. If it's 100 million, then you go 10 million, right? So at 100 million AUM, we're a 10 million ARR company. $10 million is a lot of buy pressure considering we're a 100% buyback commodity token as our alpha. So my name is Sebi Rubino. This was our second episode of the week for these Building in Bittensor live streams. I'm the CEO of Zipcode and the CRO of Ditto. That is why I have so much insight onto the conversation with Peyton. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting in here and the everything and the audio. So if you have any feedback, please give it to me. But this has been a lot of fun. We went an hour and 20 minutes today, an hour and 30 minutes yesterday, a little over. So yeah, please go check out Zipcode Network on Twitter, and then also go look at Hey Ditto AI on Twitter. Follow both companies. That's where all the magic is happening. Zipcode is a bank on Bittensor. The end result is a huge list of highly profitable, highly secure and safe, low default credit products. What else is a bank, a neobank, than the venue with all of the best credit products? That's Bittensor. Credit is essential to life. Credit is essential to forward mobility in a competitive arena. It could be a great tool for builders in Bittensor, as well as builders online and even in the real world. And then Ditto is just your operating system. Finally, your computer can remember you, and finally you can go into one place. I gave an example to a friend today. I said, hey, download Ditto on your phone. He's like, why would I do that? I said, because when V2 comes out, think about a reality where you shut off all of your push notifications and turn Dittos on. You only need to know what Ditto is telling you because it's connected to where all your notifications come from and asking you how do you want to respond to all of these things that come up. You'll basically just show up, almost have like a swipe experience on your things or leave a voice note. And from that, you can then go and create. It's like handle your tasks all in one place, then create, then share, then manage, all safely. And you can even do it locally, privately, uncensored. It is what Venice is trying to be, but built with the right values. And that's why I'm so passionate about the venture. We just hit the 3-hour mark on the week. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much. And on the next one, let's try to get more interactive. Let me see if there were any comments, but on the next one, I'll bring some questions and love to hear your guys' feedback as we talk about longing and shorting. So I'll have Kyle on the stream. Kyle's our head of DeFi. He knows everything there is to know about, compound and lending markets and balancer and whatever, as do I. So you're going to get a lot of context on longing and shorting. And maybe we could talk to Const about how the fuck he even thought about this idea. This is the first chain. I'll say it again. I said it yesterday. This is the first chain that has an LP for a DEX, right? An exchange pool that's also being used for lending. So I'll leave you with that. Go with God. Thank you for your time. I'll see you on Tuesday next week at 3 p.m.